I feel so unsure if I do want kids anymore.
That's a bombshell.
Greta finally telling Matthew that she doesn't want kids is bad, but that's just one part of this betrayal. Arguably, the worst part is the fact that she already broke this news to his mum, his grandma, and his brother's fiancé before telling him. Matthew, unfortunately, is the last to find out. Keep in mind, they'd already named their future kids, planned what schools they'd attend, and mapped out their entire lives. Matthew's built his whole future around having a family with her. And now, just like that, with no notice whatsoever, it seems like all his plans will now have to go up in smoke. So, let's rewind to the start of the day and find out how exactly all of Matthew's dreams fell apart. While Matthew's at work, Greta goes to spend time with Matthew's mother, Caroline. It's a good chance for Greta to bond with Matthew's mum, his grandma, Denise, and his brother's fiancée, Josie. Seems innocent enough, right? Well, kind of, because at first, everything seems lovely.
So these are the vegan ones?
We're not saying you're abnormal.
It's okay, I realize I probably am.
So this is the vegan plate.
Oh my goodness!
It's genuinely sweet that this butcher's family, remember Matthew's dad is a butcher, are also happy to accommodate Greta's veganism, right? But I will say it's a bit odd just how fascinated they are with her veganism when Matthew is also vegan, isn't he? That's how Matthew and Greta met. They met on a vegan dating app. So where does this fascination come from? Why are they treating her as if she's an alien and they're trying to humour her?
This is vegan cheese.
Yeah, vegan cheese.
I think I'm going to have that.
Denise even literally has to clarify, quote, "We're not saying you're abnormal," which kind of implies they think it is abnormal. Now, Caroline, perhaps sensing they may be taking this a bit too far, wants to make sure that Greta doesn't feel unwelcome. She jokes, in fact, that Greta is welcome to stay at their house for weeks or months if she wants, because she's just so happy for her baby boy and Greta. She loves the pair of them being together.
I've said to Matthew, I think you're his soulmate.
Aww.
You were pulled together from across the world. It was meant to happen, wasn't it? It was fate.
Again, that's lovely. I'd imagine that's what every soon-to-be daughter-in-law wants to hear from their soon-to-be mother-in-law. And if that doesn't make Greta happy, then I don't know what will. Besides, of course, her cat, Hazel. Now, hearing this, hearing how supportive Caroline is, Greta can't help but tear up. This is the kind of family acceptance that she never really had growing up. You see, as she's briefly mentioned in the past, Greta's mum passed away when she was 5 years old, and when his father eventually started a relationship with a different lady, apparently she wasn't very accepting of Greta. Poor Greta recounts the story of how, as a little girl, one Christmas, Greta tried to hang up ornaments on their Christmas tree that she, her mum and her sister had made before her mum passed away, only to be told by this woman, "No, you're not hanging them."
This person that my father was in a relationship basically said the ornaments were really ugly and that she didn't want them hung on the tree. Nice. Yeah.
What sort of heartless bitch do you have to be to not allow a little girl to hang up sentimental ornaments that she made with her deceased mother, ugly or not? Honestly, that's evil stepmom stuff. Your heart bleeds for little Greta. She even goes on to say how she tried to desperately sneak them into the Christmas tree, hide them round the back, only for this evil woman to find them and throw them all out in the garbage. And hearing this, hearing her recount this story, sensing just how traumatic and painful this was for her and still is for her, everyone around the table can't help but be affected by it.
I tell you what, we've got lots of family traditions and we will have some Christmas family traditions and you can be part of those traditions. And your babies.
Yeah.
Caroline tries to comfort Greta by telling her she's very much accepted and welcome in their family. We'll make new family traditions together, she reassures her. This is Caroline's attempt to try and give her the family warmth that she never had growing up. It's sweet and it's well-intentioned. But That mention, the innocent enough mention of babies.
And your babies.
Now, unfortunately, steers this conversation somewhere very uncomfortable.
I'm hoping there's going to be lots and lots of little babies and children.
I've been manifesting twins since I was like 16 years old.
Oh my God.
So.
The conversation turns to kids and grandkids. Everyone's excited about the future. Josie shares that she's been summoning twins, or as she puts it, manifesting twins, since she was 16 years old. And while I'm not quite sure that's how it works, Caroline is clearly very excited at the prospect of having lots of grandbabies. Now, all Greta needs to do here is keep quiet, continue drinking her tea, and continue eating her vegan cheese sandwiches. Like, there's absolutely no reason for her to say what she says next to these people before telling Matthew first. But, caught up in the moment, she tells them all that she has something she needs to get off her chest.
I've been having like a lot of anxiety about having children lately. And I can't tell if it's like a phase or not.
And just like that, the mood around the table completely shifts. You can practically choke on the awkward tension. Greta begins to open up about her reluctance or her hesitance about having children one day. And hearing this, I mean, it's completely subconscious and unintentional, but hearing this, that lovey-dovey accepting mood that Caroline worked so hard to foster begins to go up in smoke. Like, you can see all the cogs turning in everyone's heads. Like, they're all trying to process what exactly this will mean for Matthew and Greta's future together. None more so than Caroline with, bless her blouse with thousands of hearts on it.
It's quite a big decision whether you're going to have children or not. It is the sort of thing that could break up a relationship if one desperately wants children and one doesn't.
For the lady that was so passionately the #1 cheerleader for Greta and Matthew's relationship, their soulmates, she proclaimed, she now seems to be deep in thought, pondering the ramifications for her and her son. Like, don't get me wrong, what she says is accurate. She says it perfectly. Deciding whether or not to have a baby is a colossal decision. But if Matthew wants kids, and of course as his mum she knows that he does, and Greta doesn't, well, there might be no coming back from that. That very well could be the end of their relationship right there.
Matthew and I talked about it and agreed that we would want kids together. When I've really started to picture it recently, like house, marriage, kids, I feel really conflicted.
And, of course, Matthew doesn't have a clue. Like, as far as he knows, they both still want the future that they extensively discussed before she moved to the UK. And that's precisely why it's so odd that Greta would choose to share this extremely personal information with seemingly everyone in his family before him. At least speak to the poor guy first. I mean, down the line, sure, share that news with his family, but Matthew needs to know this first. I mean, it's common courtesy, it's basic relationship protocol.
I didn't want to ruin this perfect image they had of the future. I don't want to get their hopes up about something that may never happen.
Greta is fully aware that she's just verbally bitch-slapped Matthew's family. Like, they've welcomed her with open arms, promised her traditions and family warmth, and in return, she's told them that the grandchildren they're so desperate to have might never exist. Now, to be fair to her, Caroline did handle this shock quite well, but what's Matthew gonna think when he finally learns the truth?
I hear some snorts.
Oh my God, Piggy.
Oh, look at those sweet little angels.
Oh, hey, honey.
Now, the next time we join them, Matthew has taken Greta to a farm where they can pick apples and visit pigs. Given her love for animals, it's a sweet gesture, sure to be a hit for a date. And while, to begin with, everything seems fine, watching this, you can't help but feel the sense of inevitability. Poor Matthew, in trying to do something nice, have a sweet day out, is instead, very soon, about to have his world blown upside down.
You know, who'd have thought that 3 years after we met on a vegan dating app, we would go on this journey together and share these experiences?
Yeah.
Matthew is being reflective and sweet. He seems to have come a long way from the guy that awkwardly greeted her at the train station and told her that she stunk. This Matthew before us is vulnerable, he's softly spoken, dare I say it. He's a guy that looks very much in love. He's made himself emotionally available in a way that I'm willing to bet he's probably never done before. He looks lovingly into Greta's eyes and tells her how grateful he is that she chose to uproot her entire life to be with him.
It surprised me when I was able to find you. And maybe what I'm trying to say is thank you for being in my life.
No.
Matthew acknowledges just how much Greta has sacrificed to move to England. She's left her cat, her career, her entire life in Oklahoma. He wants to reassure her that she is his person. Yes, they might have had some disagreements in her time here. Sure, it definitely hasn't all been smooth sailing. But I appreciate you, he says. And with that, it's now time for Greta to speak. So what is it she's going to say? Will she return the lovely sweet messages? Will she reassure him that he's her person too? Well, not quite.
I've been having a lot of anxiety lately because I've been thinking about something, like really struggling with it.
Look, you can tell that it's absolutely killing Greta to say this. She starts and stops her sentence multiple times as if she can barely force the words out. They're on this sweet romantic farm date, surrounded by the animals that she loves, and Matthew has just poured his heart out, and now she's fully aware she's about to kill the vibe, potentially kill the relationship. So go ahead, Greta. Put the poor guy out of his misery.
I feel so unsure if I do want kids anymore.
That's a bombshell.
And there it is. Now, it might be a bit of a stretch to call this a betrayal per se, but you've got to imagine, Matthew must feel like he's just been stabbed in the back. I mean, look at the guy's face. He's been completely blindsided by this. This absolutely wasn't the conversation that he was expecting to have while picking apples and feeding pigs. Now, I do need to give Greta some respect here. At least she has told him the truth now, instead of waiting till after they're married. We all know we've seen that storyline play out, and that wasn't a nice experience for all concerned either. But I think it's just the stark contrast that makes this feel so brutal. He started this conversation with lovingness and kindness, excitement for their future together, and she, in return, has just popped his bubble. She's caused him now to have to reevaluate his whole future life.
I absolutely want kids, and I want those kids with you, because you are the one for me.
Matthew is making it crystal clear where he stands. He wants children, and he wants them with her. This doesn't appear to be something he's flexible with. Having a family with her is central to their future life together in his eyes. As far as he's concerned, it feels like there is no Greta without the children, but there's no children without Greta either. She's the only one for him. He doesn't want to even contemplate life without her, or life without kids. And ultimately, what Matthew can't shake is the feeling that this announcement has come completely out of the blue.
This is a complete shock to me. Me and Greta have spoken together about kids dozens, if not hundreds of times.
We've spent hours talking about kids, he tells us. We've named our future kids. We've planned what hobbies they'd have, what schools they'd attend. It's very clear that Matthew fully bought into that dream. It was more than just a dream, idle chit-chat as far as he was concerned. He thought that they were on the same page. They wanted the same future together. And that is what makes what just happened so devastating. Now, Matthew desperately tries to understand, where is this coming from? What's caused Greta to change her mind so drastically? Is this perhaps linked to your difficult childhood, he asks her. Could that be what's influencing your decision to not want to be a mum yourself? But Greta denies that that's the case. If anything, she says, it's the opposite. Having my own child would allow me to put right the wrongs of the past. No, it's not that.
I think having a kid and a family life would be a major deterrent to being the type of advocate that I've always wanted to be.
So there it is. That's Greta's reason. She's choosing to put career before family. Don't forget, she's only just passed the bar exam back in Oklahoma, and her dream is to work in animal law. She's come to the conclusion that having her own kids will prevent her from representing animals to the best of her ability, I guess. Now, if that's how she feels, and we all know how passionately she feels towards animals, right? If those are her feelings, then that's valid. That's how she feels. We can't dispute that. But that doesn't stop a small, tiny part of me wondering whether or not she's telling the full truth here. Is reaching the heights of her career really the whole story? I mean, when she's grown up with a mother that sadly passed away, when you've had a stepmom in your life who sounds like a complete bitch, those experiences, whether consciously or subconsciously, will shape the way that you think. Inevitably. Would her stance on being a mother herself have changed if she'd grown up experiencing the kind of love and acceptance that Caroline is now bestowing on her? Whether or not Greta realises or accepts it, sometimes trauma really does shape us in ways that we can't see. And Matthew is desperate for her to reconsider.
And if you don't have the time to be a mother, I will be 200% of the father.
The way he says that is heartbreaking to watch. He's so desperate to have kids. He has so much love to give them that he's even prepared for Greta, the woman he loves, to be an absentee mum because he'll step in and take care of both roles. Honestly, that says a lot about not just how much he loves Greta to even propose something like that, but also how badly he wants them to have a family of their own. But, of course, the problem is, just 3 days into their new lives together, they've just discovered they have fundamentally different views of their future. You can't compromise on whether or not you want children. You either want them or you don't. At some point, someone's going to have to sacrifice what they want, and when that happens, resentment usually follows. The question is, can their relationship survive that?